Welcome back to the Arbitrary YouTube channel. Today we'll be learning how to make this beautiful detachable bow sleeve. It's a very simple to make. It's a simple DIY and it is very beginner friendly. If this is what you would like to learn, kindly stay tuned till the end of the tutorial. Thank you. Okay, so to do this DIY detachable bow sleeve, for the band, the measurement of the round arm that I'm working with is 10 inches. So I'll just be multiplying that by 2 for my length, and that's going to give me 20 inches. So which means on fold like this, I'm going to have 10 inches, but when I open it up, I'll have 20 inches, like as we can see here. Okay, so and the length is going to be on fold, it's going to be 2 inches like this. So once I open it out, it's going to be 4 inches, and then I'm just going to fold it together and then sew it on that part like I have done here. Okay, so it's on fold as you can see by 4 inches, and I just sew it straight like that because I don't want the video to be too long since it's a DIY class. So after folding it like that, I'm just going to turn it out to the right side, and after turning it out, we can now pass our elastic. So once I turn it out, this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so the part that I sew here is what I will be pushing to the middle. Okay, so that to guide me when I want to sew in my elastic. So now my band is ready. The next thing is for me to cut my elastic. This is the elastic that I will be working with. It's an inch elastic, and you can see that it sits well between the fabric that I cut. So now remember, the arm round that I'm working with is 10 inches. So for firmness, I'm just deducting like 2 inches. You can deduct 1 inch if you don't want it too tight from the 10 inches. And then I've measured an elastic of 8 inches length. Okay, so that elastic now, I'll be passing it inside this band, and then once I pass it here like this, remember the elastic is smaller than the band. So once I pass it here, I'm going to secure it by sewing it here. Then after sewing it here, I'm going to bring out the other side carefully. You can use a safety pin for this before you pass it, so that it will be easy for you to bring out. Okay, so I've passed the elastic inside now, and I've sewn it to secure it. So now with my safety pin, I'm just going to bring it out on the other hand. Then I'll do what I have done to this side also, so that my elastic can be safely secured inside my band. So now you can see that the elastic has even gathered it a bit for us. Okay, so this is what we have. So it's looking like, I think my elastic is quite small because it cannot spread round. Okay, and I want to sew it in between here, so I may need to change this elastic. But if you don't want to sew it in between, you can just go with this. So I want to sew it, which means I'm going to be removing this elastic, and then I'll fix another one. Or instead of just taking new elastic, I can reduce the length of this band. Remember we used 20 inches earlier. I can remove like 4 inches from it and make it 16 inches. So that can take care of the issue that I have. So now I'm going to bring out this elastic now, and then check if this is going to work for me, which I think is fine. Okay, I can still do with this. So now the same way I closed it here, I'm going to take it to the machine and then close this here also. So after closing it here now on the same machine, I'm going to spread it like this, and then I'm going to sew it in the middle, following that was why I pushed this middle line here. Following this middle line that I have, I'll be opening it up like this, sew it, opening it, sew it till I get to the finish point. I hope you understand that. So I've gone ahead to sew it in the middle. The essence of this is just to gather it more. You can see how lovely it is. And on the right side, I just added trimming to my middle part just to give it some sort of nice finishing. So the band is ready now. You can go over to the bow. So to make our bow, it depends on how big you want your bow to be. Okay, so for me, I'll just be making like a normal medium size bow, and the measurement that I'm working with here is, this is 13 inches by around 6 inches on, but the 6 inches is on fold, so that's like 13 inches by 12 inches. So I just folded it like this on the 12 inches, and then I sew it here. Okay, so after sewing it, I'll turn it to the other side like this, and then you can iron it if you want to. So the place that I sew it, I'll try to make it the middle part so that my sewing line will not be showing. So after that, you can trim off this excess, or you can serge it so that it will be neat, but it's not going to be showing, so it doesn't really matter. So if you want your bow to be wider, you just need to increase this 13 inches. So after doing that, for the rope, I just measured the rope of 2 inches, and then I folded it, and then I sew on it like this. So I'm going to turn that out also. So when you turn it out, you can see like you have like a tiny rope of 1 inch. So now to form the bow, on this side that we have the seam, you're just going to fold it to meet each other like this equally. So once you fold it and it's meeting each other equally, this is what it looks like on the right side. Now you are going to pleat it, holding it with your hand. You can see how I'm just taking them together. You can either pleat this by hand, or you use your thread and needle to make like a gather. Okay, so after doing this, you make sure that it is neat. You can first tie it with a rope, but if you can sew it like that, you see the bow that I have here. So here now I'm going to also put this sewing part in the middle, and then I'm going to be using it to cover up the middle part like this. You can see what I have. Then I'm going to tie it at the back. Okay, so you're just going to tie it securely like once or twice. Instead of tying also, you can decide to use like a needle and thread to sew it, or you take it to your sewing machine and sew. But I don't want to do too much of machine since this is a do-it-yourself class. So now this is what our bow is looking like. It can be bigger than this. You just need to increase your measurements. So once you're fine with what you have like this, arrange it well. You bring in your band and locate the middle point. So once you find the middle point here, you're just going to fix your band anyhow your bow. It can be like this, or it can stand like this, depending on how you want it. So once you have a good place here, you can use a gum to hold it first, and then look for a way to tack it using your needle and thread. Okay, so I'll just tack this with my needle and thread, and then pass it in a way that is not going to be showing outside. Okay, so you just have to be very careful and pass it neatly. Okay, so you just sew it around to secure it. Pass it around and make sure that your sewing is not going to show. So once you've passed it around and it is firm, you can now tie it at it. You can see that it's not even showing here. You just find a way to tie your needle and thread. Then your sleeve is ready. All you just need to do now is to take it to the sewing machine and close the band up, so you can rock your sleeve anyhow you want. Okay, this is perfect for an off shoulder. So here now, I'm just going to take this to the machine now, and then I'm going to close it up here. Then this is what the sleeve is going to look like. You can see it's very simple to make, and it is really lovely. You can even pass for like a hairband. Apart from sleeve, you can use this as like a hairband, or wherever it is you want to put it. So this is what the detachable sleeve is looking like. You can make your bow as big as you want. I can see that it is really simple to make, and it is very lovely. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, let us know in the comment section. Give this tutorial a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.